How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you. I'm so excited to talk to you, Chris Lobo from Native Hands Wines. Tell me a little bit about yourself and how you got started with Native Hands.
Long journey, that's for sure. Started when I was 18 years old, right out of high school, and jumped right into this little place called the Ritz-Carlton, and worked my way up through the ranks there. And after a short 15 years, I left as a beverage director, and then jumped into a couple things, but then found myself right back in the beverage world. And after 9/11, started my own company and started working with different brokers and wineries direct. And anybody in the wine business will always tell you their end goal or their dream is to make their own wine. And of course, I had that from day one. Um, but after years of really looking deep into the history and everything, and then obviously my family's background, those two worlds were so far apart. My family's background in tribal politics and involvement. I found myself in that lane as well. So in 1997, I was on council for a decade and trying to earn a living at the same time, which was they just seemed so far apart. But when I started Native Hands conceptually about 5 years, 6 years ago, all of a sudden those two worlds came together, and all of a sudden they're all on the same track. And so when anyone ever says, "Hey, it's really easy to start a winery," I tell them, "Yeah, it is. If you can find someone who has about 100 years of experience and $250,000 and has a background that goes back to, early 1700s and all that, then yeah, you're right. It's very easy." But of course, it's not. It takes a lot of. It does take a village for sure, and it takes a lot of people to actually believe in you and the project and the history. And this project is nothing without my two great partners and my tribe and a lot of people actually that came together to assist me in moving this project forward. So
I love that.
um, yeah, it's been pretty incredible journey.
Yeah, that's amazing. So you talk about, obviously your winery is called Native Hands and you
Yeah,
yourself are Native. Tell us about, your tribes, just how that kind of came together, your connection, and
yeah,
why that was important to you, to kind of
absolutely.
integrate that into your work.
Absolutely. So, my citizenship, I belong to three different tribes, but my citizenship is with Juaneño Band of Mission Indians, better known as the Ahachiman Nation. So we're the tribe that actually built Mission San Juan Capistrano, which was the seventh mission out of all the 21 missions, and based here in Orange County. Um, so we trace all of our lineage going way, way back. We're in the middle of federal recognition, so we have to turn over every stone, and that's a nightmare. I don't wish it upon anybody. It's pretty arduous. But with that,
That's a whole other video, definitely.
oh, it's 20 videos. But anyway, through all that, the genealogy gets done professionally. So there are some good things that actually come out of it. That's one of them. And then because of our close relationship with the mission, our archives are very readily available to us through those records. And those are critical records. And many books have been written and what have you that assist in that whole process, historians and whatnot. So my relationship with the tribe, my family goes way back to the early 1700s, nearby the mission. We connect to three different villages in this area, Shuitak, Paksiv, and Tobay. And then my grandmother is from Paula, so she's Luiseño, comes from Mwanga. And then we have more lineage that goes all the way down to Sequan towards the Degano territory, the human speaking. So I come from a vast variety here. So I bring a lot to the table. But putting the project together, it's truly the whole thing behind our project is that the Mission Indians are the first winemakers of California. And starting right at San Juan Capistrano, those first vineyards were planted in 1779. And so it's the first documented vineyard that was planted. And then soon after, the first vintage was 1782. And that's how and why my two worlds collide. That, wow, here I am, a descendant and citizen of this tribe. And then lo and behold, here's the history of the first. viticultural foundation or root of all of California being right here. It's the Mission Indians of all the missions who were truly the first winemakers. So I consider myself nothing more than a messenger, is to bring that history, um, is kind of to wake it up and to bring it to life, but also to put it to where it needs to be, which is in the hands of all the Mission Indians. It's their legacy, and it's our legacy. And so it's for all of us to celebrate and to acknowledge and not be whitewashed or swept under the rug. That's something to be celebrated. And, obviously, as you know, the wine industry is a multi-billion dollar industry, not only state, but around the world. So for the tribes and for others not to acknowledge that or to know about that, that's my job, at least part of my job, to bring that forward.
Absolutely. That's so powerful just to kind of, revive, what your tribes started here in California, in Southern California.
Yeah.
So how is it, why is it important and how do you continue the winemaking traditions of your tribes through native hands?
Sure. I think it starts, of course, you have to make good wine and you have to have a moral compass to make sure you're making the wine appropriately. And so that starts a little bit differently. So my partners, we sat down initially and said, hey, let's conceptually think this through. And obviously there's labels and there's history and there's my relationship to the tribe. And then, but on the back end, which is really important, is the production of the wine and how do we go about that? And so immediately we talked about different vineyard sources and what that looks like and how do we come about that. So my winemaker, Kurt Shacklin, he's amazing. I've been working with him for almost 20 years now on different projects. And it really is about not us selecting the vineyards, it's about the vineyards selecting us, meaning we are hands off. We're considered to be an organic project, all natural. So we add nothing to the wines. We use no new wood whatsoever. There's no additives. We use no animal products whatsoever. So what we're doing is really they're natural wines. And so that goes all the way down to the vineyards. So those vineyards, say on the hilltop or down in the sandy loam or near the ocean, those vineyards give you certain aspects. And when we're saying, hey, we want a wine that might profile to be in this arena or to deliver this, we're not trying to control and to manipulate the wine to give us that. We're looking to what vineyard will give us that. And so that vineyard is really tells us, hey, use me because that's what I'm going to deliver to you. So we don't select it and go, okay, now we're going to press and we're going to add and we're going to manipulate and control it. And that's the absolute opposite of what we do. So we truly are a natural wine because those vineyards speak to us and they tell us. So
That's
we
so
listen to the
interesting.
land.
Yeah, absolutely. Is that typical that there's a lot of things added to wines?
Well, I will say yes, to some degree. There's many out there and they're big names on the shelf. So if you go to any market, about 85 to 90% of what you'll see in big box stores, if not more percentage wise, are all owned by large conglomerate corporations and who make, hundreds of thousands of cases globally. And they are kind of cookie cut and they add a lot of different chemicals or additives to the wine or manipulate that wine to be stylistically almost exactly the same every year. That's exactly what we don't do.
That's fascinating. Oh, I love that. And
Yeah.
so how else do you honor your ancestors through
Hmm.
your winemaking?
So each of our labels, so we have 6 wines so far, and each one of our labels is very distinct. So it's either of a time, place, ceremony, or position of Mission Indians. So going all up and down the coast. So our wines are either from Paso Robles, San Luis Obispo, or Santa Barbara County. All of those are Mission territories. But each of our labels has a distinct story, and they're indicative to the wine that's in the bottle. But the stories and the art behind them are they're each amazing. They're platforms for me to actually who I am and who the tribes are, and through these labels. So each one of them is a platform to me explain history. So that's for me, and thank God we have a great artist and a team to help me because I'm not sure my drawings would do the job.
Oh, that's amazing. Do you have any bottles next to you?
I do.
Or
I do.
oh, I'd love
Yep.
to see
Yep,
that.
I do. Uh, this one's probably the one I really like a lot.
Oh, that's beautiful. Can you talk a little bit about how that label was
Sure.
designed and the wine itself?
Yeah, of course. So this is actually, we make about 200 cases, which is about 8 barrels of this wine. This is from Santa Barbara County. This is a skin contact, so we leave it on skins for about 10 days. So it's Grenache Blanc Albarino blend. And this is our Native Hands summer solstice. And so you see the moon phases around the sun. And then this is actually one of our most significant mountains here in Orange County called Saddleback Mountain. And then the Pleiades, which is the seven sister stars that surrounds the area. And then you'll see this little red thing here. It's a rendition. It's a tribal calendar. And this is actually from a secret petroglyph that we have in our territory here. Let me figure out how to do that. I took this picture when I was 13 years old, up of a place called Ortega Highway, which is is a path from east to west going to the ocean for many tribes. So I took that picture when I was 13 with my dad, and so I looked it up and said, "Hey, I'm going to use this. It's a rendition of it." So that's our summer solstice, and so each of our wines also is it's in English, and then it has a title, but then it's also in our tribal language as well.
Oh, that's amazing. And
Yeah.
just, there's been kind of a difficult history with missions and
Yep.
natives here in California. And do you feel like you kind of are, re-empowering your ancestors or the tribes or, by, starting this historical wine legacy through native hands?
Yeah. I think what's really important, both the um, my tribe, the Juaneño Band Mission Indians, we're based right there. Our tribal office is right next to the mission. We're like, you could throw a rock. Um, and then the mission, right before we did everything, I took it to the mission, to the executive director, Michelle Lawrence, and explained to her where I was going. I didn't ask permission, and she knew I wasn't there to ask permission. But we have a very close tie with each other, not only personally, but we have a close tie between tribe and mission. Is it perfect? No. And there's a lot of history there to for us to continually sit down and reshape and try to tell the truth and get it out there in a way that's honest. And so we work very closely with our mission. Yeah, there's a lot of hurtful and painful history there, but that is history, and that's part of it. But we can't put that under the rug and whitewash it. So we have to be honest with it and move forward and collaborate and partnership. That the mission does a great job of opening the doors to us, and we collaborate with them in lots of different events and education and rewriting some of the teachings. So our voice is coming from us, which is actually we're in the middle of redoing that as well. So we work very tightly with the mission. I don't know of a tribe that's closer to their mission. I really don't. So doesn't mean there's not a lot of work to be done because there is, and I think the mission's in good hands, and we collaborate very well together, and I think we see eye to eye in
Oh,
regards
great.
to moving forward.
Oh, that's great. That's
Yeah.
amazing news. And just lastly, how can we get our hands on Native Hands wines?
Yeah, we're just this next coming year, the 26th, we're doing the back end because it's really I have a winemaker, and so he's got 4 other projects going, so he's always crazy busy. And then I have a silent partner. Um, so it's really kind of up to me. So it's like, okay, get your stuff done. But so I'm always out there doing events and out there and selling and all that kind of stuff. But so this 2026 we'll have online sales, but currently we use a couple different retailers up and down the coast. We're primarily in Southern California now, but one of our big suppliers or big supporters is High Time Cellars. So you can go on our website and you can see High Time Cellars or especially Instagram. But they support all of our wines and they ship nationally. So they're a fantastic backer. So
Oh, that's
we really
great.
enjoy those guys.
Good to know. And are there tours of your winery, or can people come and visit you
No, not
guys?
yet. So we make our wine in Tin City in Paso Robles, and we're housed with Sans Liege. So we're not there for touring yet. You know, we're infant and we're growing, but we've made a big splash here. So we've gotten some good national representation or support and acknowledgement. We actually won Best Design Series with um, Wine Monthly, a large publication nationalized. And then we just came out with a big article in Wine Enthusiast, which was spectacular. And so we're chipping away at that PR. So, but it's ongoing and fun.
Amazing. Well, cheers to that. Congratulations on everything. And I'm gonna have to go online and get some bottles for sure.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, and a couple other things. Native Star has been a huge supporter as well, and they've put me in some really amazing contacts with the Met Gala this year up at the Autry was incredible. I mean, that was unbelievable. Like to have my wines there and then showcased with Sean Sherman's menu, that was like, okay, this is stars are aligning for sure, and we are the star people, so this is perfect. So,
Oh, I love
um,
that. That's
no,
amazing. What
yeah,
an
big group of
incredible event.
yeah, good group of people that are really putting a lot of things together, and just it's a whole world out there that's amazing.